The 25th legislature, over 120 years ago, passed legislation requiring that cities license plumbers, master plumbers, journeyman plumbers, and plumbing inspectors. And the cities shouldered that responsibility and ran with it. From 1897 to 1947, when the legislature realized that our license needed to have portability. You needed to be able to work next door in the next door city. So they created the Texas State Board of Plumbing Examiners. But I want to tell you that the first thing that happened is they appointed them. They didn't have a building, they didn't have an office, they didn't have a sheet of paper, and most important, they did not get an appropriation from the legislature. The legislature told them to go forth and pick this challenge up from the cities and make it a state license. There were 6 men on that board in those days, and they went here to a bank in Austin, Texas, and borrowed the money. And they all signed the note. And they funded the State Board of Plumbing Examiners until the funds started coming in. At that time, they were in a building over here, a house, and a garage apartment on Lavaca Street. I got a lot of noise here. Maybe they want me to quit.
Keep on going.
Anyway, they made it, the legislature in 1969 said, Plumbing Board, if you'll help us with the construction of the John H. Reagan building, we'll give you rent in perpetuity. The legislature passed a bill saying that the plumbers could take $250,000 out of their fund, give it for the construction of the John H. Reagan building. Many of you, if you're older plumbers, took your exam in that building. The exam was in the basement, and the administrative office was on the 2nd floor. When I took my exam 55 years ago, Lynn Brown was the administrator, and I walked around and I said, could I find out what my score was? He said, yes. And he told me what it was, and I said, when do you send my license? He said, if you go upstairs, I'll write it out for you.
Yeah!
And he did, and I went back to my home in Houston, Texas, and I was so proud. And the next morning, I was standing at the plumbing inspection office in downtown Houston in the basement of City Hall, and I took out my first permit.
Yeah!
And what a proud day that was for me. And I've been proud of this license ever since.
Sir.
I want to tell you that we got rent in perpetuity in the John H. Reagan building, but perpetuity ran out in 1981, and we moved to the building we're in. We had 12,000 licensees. The building was adequate. The examination was great. The examinees took care of us. Today we got 78,000, and we're in the same building. They're put in there like sardines. We can't expand. We need the state to appropriate our funds, and it's not that the state...
Yeah! That's right!
takes 50% of the money we collect and puts it in the state treasury. If they'd appropriated that money to that plumbing board and let us have the FTEs that we needed, we wouldn't be in this switch.
Yeah!
This state has never put a dime into that state board from its inception till today. And they've taken millions and millions of dollars from our plumbing contractors and plumbers in this state.
Let's do something about it!
It's time for the state to appropriately fund that plumbing board, and we'll fix this problem.
Yeah!
6 years ago, the governor signed a bill where you could transfer your license number. 50 years of carrying a license, and you could give it to somebody within the second degree of kindred, as long as they held the appropriate license that matched yours. The worst text I got after this happened was from my grandson. And he said, "Papa, am I still going to get your license?" Thanks to Governor Abbott, twice he signed the bill that allows us to transfer it, and now he put me back in shape to give it to my grandson.
Yeah!
We're going to have to stay strong. We have to talk to our legislators. We got to help them in their election. They need to understand what the plumbers do for this state.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They have to understand that we do more than clean their toilets.
That's right.
Amen. We save lives.
And when they understand that, this problem's going away.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate everybody being here. Thank you for your attention. And I'm going to continue to work for this plumbing industry as long as the good Lord lets me. Thank you.